December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
That is President Franklin Roosevelt's famous address asking Congress to declare war on Japan following the attack on Pearl Harbor. Today marks the 75th anniversary of Japan's surprise assault that drew America into World War II. Survivors will attend commemorative ceremonies to honor those who died. John Blackstone is in Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, where survivors and family members are looking back. John, good morning.
Good morning. Well, this iconic memorial that sits over the wreckage of the battleship USS Arizona is the backdrop for the main ceremony here today. But for the survivors returning here after 75 years, there are other less famous places in Pearl Harbor that hold great significance and terrible memories. At the twilight's light. A few hundred yards from the Arizona, a small group gathered at sunset to remember the men who served on the USS Utah. The rusting wreckage of the Utah remains in the exact spot in Pearl Harbor where it went down, hit by 2 Japanese torpedoes 75 years ago this morning. 58 died, but more than 400 crew members survived. Gilbert Meyer, 93, is one of only 6 still living. How did you make it off the ship?
I swam. I was sleeping down on the starboard side here. The torpedoes hit the port. That's why she's rolling.
You were asleep when the torpedoes hit?
Yeah, well, I had the mid-watch, and I stayed up all night.
The ceremony here honors not just those killed on the Utah, but many of the survivors who in death chose to be with their shipmates, their ashes placed in the wreckage. Tanya Warnock's grandfather died 3 years ago. You look out there, your grandfather's ashes are out there. What's that like?
It's surreal, and we promised that we'd take him home.
And this is his home?
That's his home. That's where he wanted to be.
The veterans returning for this 75th anniversary are now mostly in their 90s. Their numbers dwindling. Some call it the last reunion.
Welcome these gentlemen back.
Many have returned with several generations of their families determined to share their story.
I saw the Oklahoma going over. She took 460 men with her that day.
The organization Wish of a Lifetime helped 93-year-old Mel Heckman come back with 4 generations of his family. His grandson, Robert.
Being here and sharing this spot with him, it's a blessing, and it's a once-in-a-lifetime blessing.
For those serving today, the aging veterans serve as an inspiration.
When I walk up to them in my uniform as a 3-star general, they immediately try to stand up or salute me. And I have to tell them, please, you know, I'm honoring you. The honor is mine. Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe has announced he will be visiting Pearl Harbor later in December to meet President Obama here. But a spokesman for the Prime Minister made it clear he is coming to pay respect to the dead and not to apologize for what happened here 75 years ago. Gail?
Thank you very much, John. It's such a touching ceremony. Only 6 are living, and to hear that so many of them want to go back there when it's time to be buried.
Oh, yeah. I wish I was there, and I think it's such a nice thing that so many organizations have helped these veterans and their families come for what some are calling this last reunion. Incredible.
And that they can share it with their families. It is incredible.